vineyards, strikes. I had to really wait so long for my liquor license. I really have worked hard to get to this point. So, but it's been worth it. The journey's definitely been worth it. I'm so happy that I'm still able to be producing.
Well, this sounds like a real GARAJEEST and Indiana Jones story intertwined into one.
Well, that's it. Cowboy,
Cowboy,
cowgirl of the
cowgirl.
industry.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask you, I have to ask you, can you use a whip like Indiana Jones?
I mean, I don't give away all my secrets. So, I might do so.
Okay.
Um, yes, so that's just a summary of the brand. It is inspired by old school rock and roll.
Hmm.
Um, so I have Bruce and Jim, inspired by my favorite musicians. I grew up listening to classical rock, Bruce Springsteen, Jim Morrison, Cat Stevens, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, these are all my favorite artists. And the wine itself is, I've really tried to make premium, beautiful, elegant wines that are versatile, that one's able to drink on their own or age, drink now, or they have long aging potential. So I worked hard at getting that right. I'm very happy with what I've produced, and yeah, so currently I have the 100% Cab Franc, 100% Semillon, and then I do a signature series every couple of years where I just make one bottle of something and I keep it a secret. So
Wow.
many friends and people try and twist my arm, feed me a few tequilas to find out what's in the bottle. And I age it for 2 years in barrel. And it's a collection. So a couple of years ago, I brought out a Jagger, and I've released a Cobain, and we'll see if what I'll be releasing next. So this is all under the GARAJEEST umbrella. So yeah, that's again
So,
just a bit more about the wines and the brand.
so your winemaking philosophy seems to be totally intertwined with music and art and creativity and all of these things. That's quite
Absolutely.
interesting. So, yeah,
It's really me I'm really expressive. I think if someone knows me very well, they'll identify me to my brand. I do very much associate, or I'm very linked to the brand. I love art and history and poetry and reading and museums, and music, and the connotation between music and the association, the neurological association one has to linking it to a memory or an emotion. So if you listen to a song, it would most likely bring you back to a memory or a place that where you experience that song. The same as with
mm,
wine. When you smell it or taste it, it's really by association to what you've experienced in the past. For example, if someone smells your grand's perfume in the glass, it's because you've had that association before. So I love the link between music and yeah, just anything emotional, neurological, and the fact that music brings us together, food, wine, as much as it's a premium a product, I've created a brand that's very rock and roll, very relatable. I've wanted people to talk about wine, enjoy it, and get rid of the connotation of it being so snobby. People deem the term reverse wine snob. I've really created that. I don't like to give people tasting notes. I want people to really enjoy it for what they enjoy it for. So just drink it, enjoy it, have fun. So yeah, that was really the brand I wanted to create, something premium but relaxed, and get people talking. Let's have interesting cultivars that people don't know and they're not scared of pronouncing. Let's just enjoy it more. And I think, in general, the wine industry, both locally and internationally, that's what we need. Is we need people discussing wines. We need people to to steer away from a Merlot and a Sauvignon Blanc as much as we promote those wines. You know, let's explore more. So that's really what I wanted from the wines and the brand, is to have this very relatable product and brand where people enjoy it. It's something edgy, it's different, but it's timeless. So that's what I've created, and I hope people people also see that that's what's been
Well,
created.
I just love this because the thing is, you know, if you think about wine in traditional sense, you're thinking about wine pairing with food, you think about smell, but actually the sense of hearing and the sense of music
Yes.
does not really come into it. And I personally think that what one thing, you know, in the wider winelands, something that we need much more is live music, a live music scene. Because
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I lived in Chicago, and that's the one thing that I experienced there that is really missing in the whole Western Cape is a you know that fantastic music scene that they have
Yeah,
in
we
the
need to
Midwest.
rock and roll. I feel like
Absolutely.
putting my dancing shoes on right now, putting out my leather jacket.
So do you play any music yourself?
Um, sure. A few people actually ask me this. I had started playing the cello. It is my favorite instrument, and I'd never learned music prior to that. So I was a year in. But
Hmm.
besides rock and roll, I mean, I love rap music. I love classical music. I listen to opera. So, you know, music for me is
Music's your life.
what really it is. It really is an inspiration as much as
So,
anything artistic is. And you know, wine, as you were saying, there's a lot of art and passion going into my wines. You know, it's I love science as well, so it's a great combination. You know, that just the balance between science and art, and then your own personal style as well. So it's very expressive. I think it's the most expressive thing I've ever really done is make wine. It's like my painting or my poetry in a bottle.
well, this is awesome. Your typical customer, who does your wine appeal to?
Sure, you know, I have. It's also I don't have one set target market. The wines are premium, so often you know the trade takes them on at. I've listed in Michelin star restaurants, fine dining spots, also very edgy, quirky bars. There's a lot of cocktails that are made with the wines as well, and then you know the youth of today, I would say. I hope I'm still the youth of today, but they're also enjoying it because of the branding and the labels, and the fact that it's inspired by old school rock and roll. I mean, I've got my dad's generation drinking it, so it appeals to quite a vast customer. I was going to say arms branding look, but it's appealing to people, and I'm very grateful for that. So I think people just enjoy it. If it's not, you know, the actual wine in the bottle, it's first off the label. People speak to me directly, you know, so I'm the one behind the emails, I'm the one sending the invoices, doing the events, posting on social media. So when people, I've got a great relationship with my customers. When
Hmm.
people buy a bottle or a case, they often WhatsApp me and send me photos or tell me how much they're enjoying it. So we develop more of an intimate relationship, which most estates, you know, it's rare to know who is behind the wine making, so or who the owner is, whereas I'm all of it. So I think that's also very appealing to customers, is that they get a more personalized experience. Sorry. Yeah. So it's yeah, I'm very
Uh,
grateful.
well, you know, it's amazing. I can almost feel your passion for what you're doing, which is absolutely wonderful that you can actually love something and do it, and also find it
Yes,
so creative, because I think
absolutely.
that is unique. Um, where are your wines sold? You were talking about wine shops and some
Yes.
restaurants. Are you exporting your wines? Is it mostly in
I
South Africa?
do. I
Mhm.
export overseas. And locally, I mean, they really are everywhere boutique. So they're in the likes of like a Norman Goodfellas,
Mm-hmm.
Caroline's, Wine Concepts, a lot of smaller wine boutique bottle stores. Not well. We'll see where how far wide I can spread in the next couple of weeks. But that's the general feel for them. And online. So, and I'm running a discount as well. So they're online and I deliver, it's free delivery around South Africa. And then internationally. So I do have an amazing following overseas. And it's great because sometimes I get a photo tagged and my wine is with someone in Russia. You know, they've got their hands on it. And so I do export as well. And it's great. It's you know, I've always said everywhere I send my wines is where I'd like to travel one day. So where I want the wines to be shelved. But yeah, so I export and they're based locally as well.
Well, that's amazing. Well, here's your chance now. You were saying about the discount that you're offering. So tell us about it.
Yes.
What can people get? You've got an audience, yeah?
Yes, well, I'm offering a 20% discount. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have put up their prices, especially due to lockdown, etc. I've actually discounted because I know times are tough and, you know, we've all got to help each other. So please, like, send your orders through. I'm actually final, you know, I've got an order form, but I've actually been finalizing a proper shop setup on my site, which is very exciting. And I'm running a 20% discount on the wines. And yes, I mean, I'd appreciate the support to just keep me in business and keep me making wines. That's really what it's all about.
I think people will definitely support you, so that's for sure. Um, can you tell us? I mean, your wines have. I mean, there's a whole list of awards listed on your website. So tell us
Yes.
about, you know, all the fantastic things you've achieved. Now it's
Um,
your time to brag now.
so yes, the awards are, I mean, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly was starting out, I didn't think I knew what I was doing at all, but clearly I do know a little bit because I have won awards for the brand itself, and as well as the wines, which is I mean, it's amazing. I don't always enter to everything. It is sometimes quite costly, the price to
Mm-hmm.
enter, and then you've also got to, if you get a gold or a silver, etc., you have to give away some of your product, which is amazing because it's great marketing as well. The one year I entered so many competitions that I was in between Joburg and Cape Town, I was doing about 9 events in 1 week. So
Wow.
my smile started to fade, and I think I was pushing some customers away because I was so tired. So I have been a little bit more selective with what I've been entering, and it's great for international exposure as well, and also to just give the customer some reassurance as to your reputation as a winemaker and the wines themselves. So yeah, I'm very grateful that the wines have been received so well by such prestige competitions and international reviewers, etc. And also been in a lot of newspaper articles, and just it's been amazing exposure really since I launched and since I started the brand. So it's great. I've no complaints. So yes, I do have a lot of awards on there. I think we'll be sharing the latest Tim Atkin Awards in
Mm-hmm.
September. We can reveal those, which I'm excited to let everyone know. And Platters is still coming out, and I've also entered Decanter this year as well. So yeah, a lot's still to be released this coming year. Sorry, not this coming year. Over the next couple of months.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's a bit about the awards.
Amazing. Tell us about Callan and Crimson.
So Callan and Crimson is a side venture I do where I just offer service for wine clubs, launches, weddings, lectures, just to share my expertise that I have, to present a tasting, to chat about any wine topic. So often I get asked to be a part of a wine dinner, a wine club, or a launch, and they'd like me to discuss something, or they'd like me to pour my wines and chat about the Elgin Valley and the difference between Cab Franc here, New World versus Old World. So is our connection still on?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, okay, super. So so Callan and Crimson is the side venture I do where, people can get in touch with me, and that's the service that I provide in my personal capacity, not necessarily linked to the GARAJEEST.
Hmm.
And it's actually also been received really well. So I've been invited for to a lot of different events. So yeah, that's the side business. I've also I'm about to launch an entry level brand. It's called Chinchi. It's spelled Cinci. It means a little bit of. It's an African rooted word. So, I've just played on a little bit of fun, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of life. And I'm very excited to launch. It's been put on pause due to lockdown and then the ban and then the next ban. But we will be launching soon. So that's up and running. The site is up, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So yeah, I'm excited to get those wines out there, and that's just a very playful, fun brand, not premium, but your everyday quaffable, fun and light. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Chinchi, you said.
Chinchi, it's
Chinchi.
so cute. I
That's
absolutely.
very cute. It
I mean,
almost sounds like you can do a taste on a chinchi.
yes, and it sounds like you're cheersing, ching ching.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the fact that it means a little bit of, I think it's just yeah, great marketing as well. So a lot of write-ups on that if anyone's interested to have a look see around that coming up brand.
Oh, that's awesome. So you were talking about the lockdown and the lockdown and the lockdown and the coronavirus. So this has forced all of us to rethink our business models. So do you have any changes or new ideas in mind after this?
Well, that's the route of most businesses have been pushed towards. I've always been very active on my social media platforms with my marketing, etc. So online for me hasn't been much of a change, but I've had a lot of online tastings happening where I'm connecting to the Netherlands, for example. Things like this, Zoom chats, and pushing the brand on an online platform more than actual events. And we often would do trade tastings, trade events where you would showcase your wines. A lot of it has now become more online, which is nothing wrong with that. I think it's quite exciting. And in terms of sales, etc., wine estates are going to have to push their marketing more across social media, which not all of them normally had to do. So yeah, in terms of me changing up my business, I've always had that strategy at hand. So I've just really enhanced it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you, like you say, you can hear it immediately. You're a very engaging person. So I think the biggest challenge in the whole online system and the direct to consumer system is more if you're engaging, you're going to make sales. But what about the part? How are you finding logistics in South Africa to actually get the wine to your customer as quickly as possible? Because I think that is the biggest challenge for people that have a business.
So generally, our services are absolutely on point. Our careers are amazing. The wine gets to the customer within 3 days, often the very next day after being ordered. What we're doing now is we due to this ban and the backlog, we're experiencing difficulties, which last time it took about a month to ease out. Perhaps this time it won't take too long. But the logistics of the couriers can't handle the amount of orders coming in, or waybills that come in.
Mm.
They're not used to that capacity. Some of them have had to outsource external warehousing. So as a customer, one has to be really aware and quite patient, which is so frustrating because, as the ban, was put in place and now they've ordered their wine, they're still waiting for it. Generally, that is not the case. It's really just these circumstances we find ourselves in. So once the backlog has panned out and the couriers are back operating, we really have an amazing services, amazing couriers. The guys are exceptional here, and I've never had a complaint. The wines have always been delivered very quickly. So it's a great way of just ordering online. Your wine arrives, it's safe. You don't have to go to the trouble of trying to find it. Not, some bottle stores sometimes run out of stock, or whatever the case is. So I think I think we're 100% on point. It's just due to this backlog at the moment that things are a little bit slower.
Awesome. So your wine journey seems, very interesting. So what is the most important thing that you've learned so far?
Well, the most important thing I've learned is really how fortunate I am to be, working and running a business, which is my passion.